Vinny.
Okay, wonderful. So, Atul, I think we can start off with. Okay, so my name is Praveen. I'm the customer success manager. Along with me, Atul. Atul, if you can, would like to present yourself.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Phil. I'm also the customer success manager in MyGuide team.
Okay, so like we understand like during this time most of us are working remotely or overwhelmed with the most of the tasks that we have, so we really appreciate everyone that you have given your valuable time for this webinar. Really thankful for that. So you all are our valuable customers and we always take feedbacks. So during this course of time also we have gathered so many feedbacks from our customers, and basis that we have come up with this new product release with all the feedbacks jumbled in together for all of our customers, the better UI, the better UX, and there would be much more that we have included in this product. So Atul, from your perspective, if you'd like to highlight, what do you think, what are the major changes that we have done in this product release and how it's going to benefit us?
Yeah, so Praveen, first of all, welcome to the release. So I have been waiting for this release as well. So in this release, what exactly we have done is we have done so much of improvement within the UI and the UX, which includes the couple of cool feature, which is something like a mini player segmentation. The show me design has been completely changed, and the method for creating step-by-step guidance, it has like a different view. All the couple of good features that we have added in the system now. And
Okay.
yeah, and this would be really great if we can just go ahead and start demonstrating the product, what exactly we have done from the login page till the creation of a guide, which includes the tooltip and everything. That is something can help everyone to understand what exactly we have done.
Sure, that would be great. So let me just go ahead and you can send the ball to me. I'll be presenting my screen and I'll be showing them how exactly or what is the new UI is all about. So, okay, I got the ball now. I'm the presenter. Let me start share my screen. And before we do that, all of you, if you have the questions, just keep sending your questions, in the chat window that we have. So you can share the chat. You can send your questions via chat. All of your questions, we'll try and address them during the chat. And if you have any other further queries which we cannot handle them on such things maybe wherein we would require some more information, so definitely we will park them and we will get back to you on all those questions. At the end of the sessions also we will try and take some sessions wherein we will definitely if you have any questions after wherein we will have some time for all of us for good 10-15 minutes or so, wherein we will park it only for the questions and answers. So if you have any questions, so at that point in time we will just go ahead and do that. So let me just share my screen and start showing you that what we're talking about. Just give me a minute. Okay, wonderful. Atul, can you see my screen now?
Yes, Praveen, I can.
Okay, wonderful. So this is our new creator widget UI now. You can see it has pretty much changed in terms of the color combinations. This is what the new UI it looks like. So here, first of all, the process remains the same. We will try and log in with our credentials and the passwords. Okay, wonderful. So as soon as you log in, this is how your creator screen looks like. Now, if you see there are a couple of things over there, that the refresh button, which is there, it is from the previous release itself. So this was launched in the previous release. This is the navigator menu, which was earlier there as well in the last release, but it has changed a lot. So when you click here, you will see that there is a complete UX and UI changes over here, and there are a few more features which have been added, which I will take you through later on. So these are the changes which are there. Another thing is you must have noticed earlier there was a green button over there which you used to wherein you can go ahead and pull in or pull out the my guide thing. Now instead of that, you have this cross section. So as soon as you hit this, that's when your my guide is gone. So you can either open it from here, and then this is how your my guide will look like. So this is about the new UI and the UX. Sorry, Atul, are you saying something?
No, Praveen, I was just saying the particular look and feel of this product, looking really amazing. The dark theme is something that's really exciting.
Wonderful, thanks. Another thing which I would like to do is when, like, if you have noticed, um, there is this application thing which has now moved to this side. So now here you can select the application from here, and which application you are on will depend upon what URL that you've opened. So there is a smart move now. You do not really have to switch between the applications. It will automatically switch, and we have moved the location of the application from earlier, which was somewhere here, to here. And there is a new filters for the current page and my guides, which are also available. So all this is for the creator. Now, let me just show you more in terms of the organization settings. So one thing you might have noticed, like, the color theme is now much more dark. So this is our dark theme integration now to the my organization settings now. So when we click over here, you see this bar which has a couple of things, which is organization settings. This is like earlier. Earlier, you also had this organization settings. There's a change password. The task status is for import and export. There is a direct launch for admin portal and the analytics, which is the inside portal. There is new thing which we have introduced this time, including in the My Preferences, wherein you can click and you can select the languages, which will definitely be added from the background to your organization, that which language you want to choose for creator. So you can select the languages from here. And this is something about the at cost result search, which you keep on, which will be visible to you during the Google searches. If you want to turn them off, this is from where you can go ahead and turn it off. This is the major thing that has been added over here, which is a player inside a creator. So that means whatever thing that you create inside a creator, especially tooltips, push notifications, beacons, and all of that, earlier you need to switch the profiles. You need to see that how exactly it looks like for the player. Now you do not have to do that anymore. Why? Because we have revamped our player, and now you can directly go ahead and switch to player mode directly from here. Now this is another thing which we have added. This is amazing product of this, which is the mini player, but we'll talk about it more. I'll not break the silence as of now, this kind of secret, which Atul will tell us more about it. But let me just quickly share to move on to the creator part. And so this is how exactly it is. So these are the new features which we have launched. And now you do not have to really go ahead and switch the profiles in terms of how exactly it looks like to the end users. You can directly convert to the player mode from the creator itself. How does that sound, Atul, to you?
It's really great. This is something is gonna make everyone's work easier. Just to cross check the end user experience, just to have the experience of a end user. They can just switch the particular creator into player, and they can just have the complete experience of the MyGuide extension.
Agreed. Yeah, that sounds good to me as well. Thanks. So let me just quickly take you through to organization settings, everyone, that what we have new in the organization settings. So the branding remains the same. You still have the options to change the brand logos, the watermarks from here. That is something which was earlier. Here we have changed the position for the embed code. So now you can have the embed code directly from the organization settings. This is something which you can put inside your web portals so that your players can directly start off from the embed codes. So this is about the embed code position, which has been changed. Earlier it was a different place. Now we have put it inside the organization settings. And Let me also share you that all these changes, they have been done basis by collecting more of the feedbacks and more of the inputs from all of our customers. So all of it, if you see a better UI or better UX changes, all thanks to all of our customers, because each feedback which you give us via email, by maybe over the phones or via over the calls, or via our web meetings, every bit of it is very important to us, and we take them seriously, and we try and incorporate each one of them in the future releases. So if you see, the look and feel is really good. So all kudos go to all of our customers. So now the widget thing. Okay, so the widget thing is still the same thing. Now you have another options over here. So this is again the same thing, as in there's no much add off over here. You can definitely hide the widget if no guides on the page. That is another thing. So this is for the widget. There will be no more changes. Videos gonna be the same. For the step settings, again, the look and feel gonna be the same, and you can always go ahead and click on this new reset thing, which you will see more across these settings, wherein whatever is set as a default, if you have changes to anything, and if you want to make, like, convert it to the reset, this is when you can use these reset buttons whenever you see. So this is going to be reset as a default. You'll find this reset button more often now in our organization settings, actually. Let me talk about labels now. Okay, so you see all of them, like, guide me, test me, show me, do it for me, help text. So all of it now customizable. Like if you see, I have just added anything like this, or maybe I can add one more thing. So I can actually go ahead and kind of add anything over here, and I can customize anything from this the labels thing. And there's a new thing over there. Actually, there is a resume guide, which earlier, whenever you use this option in the inline step, you have the option of resume guide, and whenever you do that, you have the option to customize it. So you can name it maybe try again or anything like that. You can actually go ahead and do that. And whatever you do, if you like oops message or the maintenance or anything like that, if you want to convert it to like in the previous one, just hit the reset button. So if you've seen, I hit the reset, and everything whatever I changed over here is back to what it is originally was. So that's what the use of the reset button in most of the places that you will see, which we have included. So that's a good thing about, I guess, easing out whatever changes that you have made. Let's talk about the notifications now. The notification things will remain the same. You have one-time notification, you have push notifications, you still have the option to choose what you want to choose. So these are the features which are keeping intact. Okay, now, yeah, there's something new over here for you, all of you. If you see, these are the guide me and test me and show me features which are there, which you definitely have earlier options, like which one you want to select. But now there is something called a default guide action in player. So whatever you'll choose from here, that's how the MyGuide will play. So for example, currently it is selected as guide me. If somebody select, let's say, show it for me, or somebody select do it for me, so basis what you have selected is where it gonna pop up, and this is how the guide will play basis what you have selected. Apart from this, there is the LXP tab, which is the knowledge cloud earlier. Now it has been changed to LXP tab. You can enable or disable it from here. Guide tracking for your users, which helps you in keeping your insight intact. Wherein we send you the weekly insights to tell you like what are your numbers look like. So that's what guide tracking is all about. So you can keep it intact from here. Another thing is your player mode. So you can switch to player mode, which is the default, or mini player, something like this from here. And let me just hit done. And before we do that, there is something called exit survey. So exit survey is something that you can use wherein if your users or employees are actually leaving the guides in between. Let's say, for example, that it's a 10-step guide and they are leaving in maybe 5th or 6th. So you can enable the exit survey so that they'll get a survey to understand that why they are not completing the guides and why they are leaving in between. Is it like way too long for them, or what exactly they want to do? So in such scenarios, you can enable exit survey. And let me hit done now. So let me show you that what I was showing about, what are the guides that are there. So when you hit over here, these are all the icons which you have selected. This is what it is showing. And if I'll switch to the player mode now, then I will also show you what does it looks like. So if you have seen in the player mode, the UI is changed, and there is a show me button, there is a teach me, and there is a do it for me button for me in the player mode. And this one, since this is the default mode, the guide me will appear over here. And as soon as somebody will hit over here, the guide will start playing. So this is how the UX has been changed. What would you say, Atul? How does it look to you, this new UX?
Like the way I mentioned earlier, too much attractive.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we have a couple of more things that we have in terms of the application and domain configurations, and the other settings also. So I'll share the ball with you, Atul, and if you can please help us in understanding of how exactly we're going to work upon the application to domain mapping and other features. So let me just stop sharing my screen, Atul, and let me just pass the ball to you. Okay, you're the presenter now, Atul. All yours.
Thanks to you, Praveen. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, it's visible.
Perfect. So the next thing that I would like to cover is something called the application domain configuration. So earlier we had the application switcher under the creator extension on top right corner. That is something that we have moved in between the like in just below option, this particular guides one that you can see right now. So here only you can see the particular application name. Apart from that, if you need to configure the particular application with different domains, so that is something that you can do from here itself. So earlier the process was something that the admin of the organization has to go to the admin portal just to configure the domain and just to configure the application role. So that is something that we have made much more easier for the admin or the admin itself, and from here itself they can just do the configuration for the application. So here, as you can see right now, I have configured a couple of URLs, which is like a google.com, amazon.in. So these are the application that I have configured with the URL. And the benefit of this thing is like we have this another functionality that is something called wildcard entry. So if you have a particular application which has a URL path, URL parameter, and URL hash as well. So you just have to enter like something which is something called page, then star. Then so in this particular thing, what exactly will happen? Like all the content which is coming after .com, everything will get captured, and the guide will work properly in that particular URL as well. So for now, I'll just remove it from here, and I'll just go back to the other tab. So the next thing is something called current page. So currently, we have this current page tab under this MyGuide creator extension, which is something the end user will not be having an experience of. So what exactly we have done is we have done a couple of changes within the MyGuide player extension. So if I'll just go back to the features tab under the organization settings, and if I'll just turn this particular player mode, isn't the default one. So I'll just showcase what exactly I'm going to talk about. So we have this new feature called mini player. So if I'll just showcase the mini player functionality, how does it look like completely? So this is the mini player design, which is the default one. Now, if you want to have an experience of the mini player one, so let me just go back to the creator mode, and I'll just activate the mini player option from the organization settings. So now the next look and feel of the player is gonna be totally changed. So if I'll just go ahead and do this. So this is how the mini player looks like. So the benefit of this mini player is something is not going to stick in the right corner. So you can place this player wherever you want to place over the page. As you can see right now, I'm just moving this player over the page right now. And the other benefit of this particular player is, so currently you can see right now, I have a guide which has been created on google.com. And if I'll go to the another website, which is, I believe, the amazon.in, which is one of my favorite websites. So this is, in this particular website, I can see a different guide. So that is something is called like a current page tab. That is something can be activated from the backend. And whenever the end user would be switching the application or maybe jumping into the different like a website or like different application, so they will only see the guide which is relevant to that specific environment or like a specific application. So Praveen, how does it sound like and how does it look like to you?
Well, it definitely fantastic to me as in this new mini player. I'm really amazed. Since the time it was in the testing feature, I was really amazed when I was waiting for this, this mini player to get released, because it just definitely is kind of ease. And I like the feature wherein you can actually go ahead and move it. That's the one wherein the user gets the benefit of it, and they can, according to their choice, they can move it anything across the screen. I think you also have that sorting thing, wherein you can sort the guides also, right?
Yes, Praveen, you're definitely correct. So here we have this option for shorting. If you wanna short these things out in the alphabet manner, you can do that thing from here itself. Not only the shorting, we have a couple of cool options in this particular mini player portal itself. So the help option that you can see right now, which is a name of this mini player. So that is
Mm-hmm.
something that you can rename. If you don't want to call it help, you want to call it something else. So you can just rename it from the organization settings under the creator extension itself. Apart from
Wonderful.
that, you have an option for push notification resume one. So earlier, this particular functionality was there in the system. However, for enabling the push notification from snoozing mode or maybe from the do not show option mode, the end user has to follow a couple of steps. So that is something that we have made easy for them. So if I'll just go back to this google.com and if I'll just refresh this page, so this is the new design of a push notification. What do you say about this, Praveen?
Oh, wow, this really looks nice. So this is the new push, right?
Yes, this is the new push notification
And I
design for
don't,
this.
I get the option of don't show again and watch later from there. Okay, this looks good to me.
Yes, so now it has a new design, which is like a bell icon to it. Apart from that, you have the option for playing this particular guide into the different modes.
Hmm.
Currently, you can see right now it has like a guide me mode. So under the creator configuration, I believe you have done the default option as a guide me. So that's the reason I can see this option here.
Got it, got it. This is really nice.
Yeah, the next cool feature that I'm just gonna talk about is like to watch later. If I'll just go ahead and if I'm just getting frustrated about this push notification popping up all the time, so I can just go ahead and just say like a watch later, right? So
Hmm.
now if I'm in need of the same push notification again, maybe after a couple of hours, so what exactly I can do as an end user? So it's very easy now. So for the end user, what exactly they'll have to do is they'll have to just click on the push notification option, which is like a bell icon that you can see over the screen. They just
Okay,
have
yeah.
to come to this watch later tab and they just have to click show again. So once they'll just see like a show again, the push notification will start popping up over the screen itself. So this is how like what exactly we have done in terms of push notification and the design of it. And
Okay, fine.
the other cool functionality that we have added something is the is the guide mode. That is something like if you want to play a guide which has not been created over the different application. So for an example, if I'll just talk about the current guide that I can see right now over the screen, this guide which has been created on google.com, and if I'll just try to play the same guide over the amazon.in, the guide will not be playing at all. It will not be giving me some sort of like a countdown, or maybe it's not going to say like a step not found or something like that. So that is something that we have like embedded or like we have integrated the particular feature within the MyGuide system. So if I'll just go to this option, if I'll refresh this page, and if I'll just come back here, and if I'll just go to the default folder, and if I'll just play this guide, if I'll play it here itself, so currently you can see right now the guide has not been created on this URL, and it has a all single step. So that is the reason it says like we didn't find the element, and if the particular guide has a one single step, this could be the design of it. So then you can see the design has been changed for the error messages. It has a cool color, and the particular wording has been changed completely. What do you say about this particular design, Praveen?
I really like this as Anatol, especially like the earlier one, that the error messages that we show. I think this one looks pretty much uh, good to me in terms of the color coding, and I guess the length and breadth have been decreased, and I'm focusing more on the content. So that is from the UX, the user experience perspective. I see it in a better design. So yeah, thanks. That looks good.
Yeah, so this is something that we have done in terms of design and our rendering. So Pradeep, why don't you like go ahead and start showcasing the creation mode? I believe we have done a couple of changes in that portion as well.
Sure. Okay, thank you. Let me just share my screen. Give me a minute and I'll just share my screen and I'll show you the creation mode also. Give me a minute. Can you see my screen at all?
Yes, Praveen.
Okay, fine. So in terms of the step creation and edit, I just have the sample guide which I created on. So let me first explain it to you that how exactly the UI of the step creation has been changed. Let me just quickly create a step and so that I will be able to explain what's new in the add step. So first thing that you have noticed is this add step thing is now on the right and bottom here. So that's when you can have, so everything which you have to add on, it could be folder, it could be guide, or it could be a step, it will now be appearing over here. So this is something that you can use. So I can, if I want to add the inline step, I can use. However, if you will, let me just add inline step. So if you see the UX of this, almost the same, it's just the color coding which has been changed. And there is a new thing which is there, which is like the jQuery selector. So we have put in the jQuery selector from the step creation to this option. And now I can go ahead and maybe I can select any options, for example, customer services. So just give me a minute. Let me just move this thing somewhere else. Okay. So if you see, when I select any element, for example, I'm choosing customer services. So you see the color, you see the count over there, which is 5 out of 5. Now this is the confidence score earlier, which you used to see in the bottom when you create 100% or 80% or 60%. Now that has been moved like this. So whenever you see 5 out of 5, that means the visibility of that particular element is going to be good enough when the guide will play. So this is what you will see. And the same thing you will see in terms of the color codings. So anything which will have, let's say, what can I say, like less than this, for example, this one. So this one is has the color coding for orange because it is only giving me a marks which is 3 out of 5. So we have introduced this. So while you'll create the steps, this is going to be dynamic. You'll not really have to wait upon the step creation. So as soon as you'll select any element, it will keep on giving you the score to let you know that this element that you're selecting in, how confident the MyGuide or you can be about having this appear in the inline step. So let's select this and let's see, understand what has been changed here. So if you see in the step title, there were a couple of things which we were not using in the step title. So we have kind of removed it from the step title and we have moved it to the step description. So if you go to the step description, you have more options in terms of the edits. When you come to step title, we have removed those options because we were mainly using those options in the step description. So that is a change for you to know. The next step, the proceed to next step, almost they're gonna be same. There will be a UI change for on resume button, which will say on click anywhere, pause this guide. So for that one, you will have the UI changes, which we will show you later on. We also have the new thing over here, which is change element. Under change element, you will see now more options. Earlier you used to see just one option, which is reselect. Now here you have more options, like you can expand this, you can narrow it down. For example, you want to expand the selection, you can click on expand and then it has expanded to this one. So this is how you can use the option of expand. If you want to narrow it down, you can hit on narrow and it's gonna stick to the element that you selected. So you can use this option of expand and narrow now also, because we have observed many a times while working on the different platforms that we were facing issues in terms of selecting the element. Sometimes it's kind of big, but it is not kind of capturing it. So that's why we come up with the expand option and the narrow option, so that you can go ahead and expand and narrow it as per your choice or basis the different platforms that you're using. Apart from that, you see this confidence score earlier. So now I have 5 out of 5. So this is what it is giving me over here, that I can have 5 out of 5 over here. And then this is how we can go ahead and this is what we can create the step all about. So I'll hit cancel for now. because I'll show you another thing in terms of the add creating the step. Now to create the step, what you need to do is you really need not to go from here. What you can do is you can simply click on this one which says step after. So I can click on step after, and then I can choose I want to add inline message step, image step, or what exactly I want to choose. So I can choose from here. I want to add a step before this. I'll go ahead and click on step before, and then I'll create a step number 3 right from the step number 4. How does that sound to you, Atul?
That you right step before. This is
So
something
Atul, if you
really
have noticed, what we have done is we have removed the add button from here. Like, there was the add button over here. This is what we have removed, and now we have moved it to the step before or the step after. Now, this is something, again, which will be very useful for all of us, because we really do not have to kind of add in between or something like this, but we can go ahead and create the steps directly from here. Another thing which I want to show you is about hover over. So when you hover over, you see the guide me options, which is available over here. So you can use this guide me option to play the guide. And when you hit on this, this is the step which has popped up. These are the icons which you can see. So this is you can move it if you want to see anything else. I'll tell you why we have increased. So at times there were possibilities wherein there was something element which is over there, but it is not visible to the end users, and it might have taken the place by this pop-up. So now you have the option to remove it and see that what is the next to it, and then keep it there where it is supposed to be. Apart from this, there is another thing which is edit. So now you can edit the step directly from here. You don't have to really go ahead and click on edit over there. You have the edit. So you come to edit from here, and you directly have the option now to edit the step. So this is another thing which we have added on as per the feedback that we have. We really do not want to go to the guide and click on anything else, or do anything uh, click on edits or stuff like that. So that's why we have created this option for editing also directly from here. Though you'll also get the option from here, but that is another thing which has been added. So you can directly click here, and step edit is available for you. So this is ready to move in for you now thing. So let me just cancel it, this one. This is about the step edit. Sorry, you were saying something?
yeah, I was if you can go inside of any of the guide that you have,
Which one you want me to do?
any of it. I saw like there has been changes in terms of options for the step creation. If you can just click on the add a step option.
Okay.
Yeah, I see this particular order has been changed, right?
Yeah, it's reverse in terms of in the inline step is here, message step is over there, and this is like this.
Yes, this is something looking better than before.
Sorry, are you saying something?
No, Praveen, I'm okay.
Okay, fine. So this is about the step edit and the other options that we have. Now, this is this is how this is the new way of how you will be creating the step. The basics gonna remain the same. However, we have tried to add more options of it. Now, let me show you another enhancements in terms of the rules that we have earlier that we had. There is something else that we have introduced. So let me just go over here. And let me try and add a rule to this guide. So when I try to add a rule to this guide, you must have to observe that there are a couple of things which have been changed. So from the advanced settings, these are the options which are there. You can force guide me mode is there, force light mode is there. There are a couple of options which have been removed. So all the essentials one are we have kept over here. Another thing is for beacons and for push notifications. Now you have to add a rule first. For example, if I'll go ahead and try and add a push notification, it's going to give me the pop-up that to enable a push notification, please create a rule. So first I have to create a rule, and that's when I can go ahead and create any push or beacon. This is the narrator. So you can select your default narrator over here. So default one for this particular organization has been set as this. So this is what it will appear like. Then we have video settings over there. So you can add title, and all of it, what you want to appear on the videos. Once the video will publish, this is what you can select. And if you you can record your own voice also. So these are all the options which are there for the video. So you see, you can have the slide text, you can have the record voice section, and this is everything which is for the video. Now, which video I'm talking about is, I'm talking about a video which get published, like, when you publish a guide, that's when the video is available for all of us to view. That's the video I'm talking about. From here, you have the option to enable the survey, and you can select then enable the survey, and there will be a couple of, this features remain the same, and then you will be able to add the surveys from here. However, you'll find the UX changes, and there will be more options to the survey, which you will definitely see. This download options, which will be for your end users, that which one you want to activate and which one you want to take off, that you can choose from here. So that is the download option. There is new thing which we will definitely be talking about in the later segments, which is about the segmentation. So we will be telling you that what's new in the segmentation. For now, I just want to show you that it's a new rule in enhancement that we have done as per the feedback from our customers, mostly from the banking side. There were the customers who were kind of looking for this rule. So when you do the other things will remain the same, the URL, host name, and other things. It's about the numbers. So let's say, for example, you click on select element, and let's say I'll share this, like, I'll select this number as the rule. So what happens is I have more options here, that either this number exists over here, or now I have more options, which is like greater than or lesser than. So I want a rule to match only if this number which is available over here is greater than this, or if the number is less than this. That's when this a new rule will work, or maybe you can use this rule for push notification, or maybe you use this rule for beacons or tooltips. You could use this rule for anyone. But if you have any kind of numbers, and if you have the functionality like this, whether you want the particular guide or a tooltip or anything like that to pop up basis the numbers, in case the number is more than 10, or in case the number is more than 11, or it is less than 10 or less than 11, that's when you can select this option, and what you select basis that, this will become the rule for that guide, and according to that, guide will function. So this is especially like most of our customers' demand was to add this one. So instead, in the select element itself, you will see the text exist, not exist, and if it is a number that you've selected, then only that you will get the option of greater than or less than. If you will select any alphabets, that's when you'll not get these options. This will only come in terms of any number if you have selected. So that is about the new rule enhancements over there. There are a few more things which I would like to tell you in terms of the rule enhancements is, let's say, for example, currently, if you see, I have auto come to this application, which is Sandbox. I did not manually search anywhere. So let's say, for example, I go to some different applications. So why I've come to the Salesforce application is because if you will go ahead and see from this settings icon, I'll click over here. If you see the application which with the domain which has been assigned to this application is salesforce.com, and I was in salesforce.com, and that's the reason why it's automatically jumped me. So there's artificial intelligence which is doing it, and I did not have to really do that anymore. So I do not have to switch between the applications. My application will get switched depending upon where exactly I'm jumping on. So let's say, for example, I'm jumping on another thing, which is, let's say, Amazon, and I go over here, and if you will see, now I've automatically come to Amazon.com. And how do you see that? So you click here, and Amazon.in is what it is assigned to. So it has automatically, as soon as switch to the URLs, according to the URL, it is showing me the guides which are there on the URLs, and then it is changing my application accordingly. So this is an intelligent piece of work for all of us, which will make our life easy in terms of guide creation. So as soon as you'll choose any kind of platform, that's when you will see the guide thing. If you will see one more thing, which I want to show you is that currently you see that I have the option of maybe Amazon.in. Now, let's say, for example, you have more characters and you want to include. So you simply put like the forward slash and press star, which will be like the wild characters. So what will happen is currently it is amazon.in. If there is anything else which is coming in over here and you're not really sure what that's gonna be, then this wildcard characters will work for you, and then it will automatically take whatever it comes after that. It'll take this domain, and this star will work as a wild character for you. Whatever will come after that, the rule will match and the guide will pop up, or the push will pop up, or the guide will show according to the rule which is there. So this is the star and the plus rule. So if you have if you're not sure that it's gonna be a zero or character, or there would be more character after this domain, which is amazon.in, that's when you put the star. But if you're sure that there's gonna be more than one character from there, then instead of star, you actually put plus. So you put plus, which ensures that after amazon.in, after that, if it'll find one more character, or maybe one more than one character, that's when it will start popping up the guide. Otherwise, it will not show. However, if you put star instead of plus, it means zero or more. So that means if it is no character, then also the guides will be there. Or if it is more than zero characters, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, anything like that, that's when the guide will pop up. So this is the wild character that you can use while applying the domains to our URLs or the applications that we have. So this is what we're going to use. Now let me show you more thing over here about the image steps. Okay, so let me see if I've created an image step, or I'll create the fresh ones for you, and I'll show you what's new in the image steps. So let me switch to another URLs. Okay, doke. So in order to create the image step, all you got to do is you can create on step after or step before where exactly you want to put the image, and then accordingly you can go ahead and do that. So this is one of the image step that I've created. Just give me a minute and I'll show you. So for example, this is one of the image step that I have created. And if you want to create the image step, it is pretty simple. If you want to create it after that, you click on step after. You click on image step. Now, if you've seen, we have the options similar, like an upload image, capture screen, bulk images with text. For now, I'll click on capture screen. And now if you've seen here, the capture screen has kind of changed. The UI has changed. I can click on take snapshot, or I can click on delay capture. So if I'll click on delay capture, and if I do it, let's say for maybe 5 seconds or so, so I can select, I can choose, and then I can do whatever. My clock started, and then I can click on new release, and let me do this again for you quickly. Just give me a minute. Image step, you go to capture screen, I go to delay capture, and there is a 5-second window which I'm going to check, and I'll put my cursor to wherever I want. So this is especially for any hover over elements. So for now, it has selected like what I want to do. So there is a message tab over there. For now, I'll just write test 1. And if you see the options for on click of the next button and on after 4 seconds, and after that you have this pop-up thing where exactly you want to pop up the message box. So for now, we'll just keep it simple. We'll keep it in the middle. Another thing is now for you to notice is the image editing tool. So you click on this image editing tool, and that's when it appears here. So let me take it here now to explain you more. So if you have seen, there is a complete change of how it used to be earlier and what it is now. This is the undo button. This is the redo button. There's the square or the shapes that you can use. This is the brush that you can use inside the image. This is the hide button, which is the blur options. This is the fill color that you want to put inside the image anywhere. So wherever you'll do anything like this, that's gonna put the colors over there. You want to put the what should be the width of your line. This one you can select. This is the crop thing. If your image is supposed to have the resize, then you'll have this option also as highlighted, and this resize thing will work for you. So this is the new image tool that you will see, and that has how it has come. So we do not have anything like, earlier it was there on this particular side and we used to do it from here. Now it will directly come over here on your screen, and then you can do whatever you want from here. And once you're done, you hit this and we come over here, and whatever we have done will be there. And then we can go ahead, and for now there's no tooltip which I want to select. So this is how it's gonna be done. And then I'll hit, let's say, save. So there's one thing which I wanted to show you during this, that what will now appear in the, when you'll play any kind of image step. So let's say, for example, you play the image step. You must have noticed that it is not giving me any option of next over here while I selected the next. So it's not going to work like that. So how it's going to work is, now you have two options. Either you can select that after a couple of seconds that it's going to go, or if you have selected the next, you must have observed this one. So this is where the next step will pop up. So I'll hit here, the next step will pop up after here. So this is, so for this particular image step, there is a step which is previous, and there is a step which is next. So this is a major UI change for all of us who have been using MyGuide, that now the next will not appear over here. Instead, it will appear over here. So instead of waiting for this to go away, we can hit this one, and that's when the step will appear for us. The next step will pop up basis this one. So this is what the new things in terms of whenever you'll create the image steps is, when there will be a UI changes for the click capture, and then there will be a UI changes for the image tool. So there is a complete new thing that we have brought in terms of the the editing of the step, the creating of the step, how do you do the image tools, and how do you create image steps, and how do you brought forward the image steps also. Okay, let me just also go ahead and show you that how our any step will look like, and what are the things that you notice over there. So if you see, on this particular page, that what are these things which are popping up when you hover over. So this one is to move the step. You can move this step from here to anywhere else. This one, okay, and this one is to edit anything over there. You can edit, go to step URL and stuff like that. So that's going to be using for the edit. Step before, I've shown that you can add a step before this step, or step after is when you can create a step after this step. So these are the changes in terms of the user, the experience that you've seen, or the UI which has been changed for any particular, and you will notice these changes also. Let me just also see. Yeah, so I would like to show you another thing, which is in terms of the tooltips. That there are a couple of new enhancements which we have done in terms of the tooltips, and how it now going to work for us. So there's some new features basis our customers' feedback that we have bought in, and let me show you that how it's going to work. So okay, let me first show you from the creator perspective that what is tooltip is and how it gonna appear. So let me just go ahead and unpublish this tooltip for you, which I just created for the test purpose. So let me hit edit, and I'll show you that what it's gonna be. So let's say, for example, I want to apply a tooltip actually over there, and let me create one, and I'll show you that how it's gonna work. So I'm going to create a tooltip for you now. So this is the tooltip which I selected. Let's say I will select maybe support and services. So I want my tooltip to be here, and oops, sorry. Test one for now, and let me see where exactly I want to put my tooltip to be. So this is the position wherein I want to put my tooltip, or maybe I can customize the position also. It's like earlier, you can also customize the position where exactly you want to put your tooltip. For now, I'll just keep it like here. So let's keep it here rather. Okay, and then we have increased the size, that you can select the pop-up size over here. And then another thing is we have increased the limit. So earlier the limit to put inside this box was around 250 characters. Now we have increased it to more than 250. Now you can put anything like somewhere around 800 characters over here. So this is basis of most of our customers who were putting the tooltips, they wanted to add more text over there, maybe more information over there in the tooltips. But since we had the limitation, that's when we could not do it. So now we have come up with this feature when we have gone and we have increased the character limits for you. And now also you can do the pop-up size. You can select the width and the length and the height also as per what you want. This is hover over icon. So you know that hover over icon, when you will select, when you hover over, that's when the tooltip will show. This one is hover or enter the element. So this is not for this functionality, but this is going to be used majorly for those boxes, wherein like this one, and then somebody enter the box, enter anything, that's when the tooltip appears. But there is new thing which you will see, which is on page reload. So when I select the option, let me move it that side. When you see, when I selected the option of, let's say, page reload, is it is giving me more option. That you know that currently if you select any tooltip, it'll only going to be visible for 2 seconds, and after 2 seconds it's going to go away. Now most of my customers had the demand that they want the tooltips to be permanently visible. So that's when we have come up with this option that if you select the option of page reload, that's when what will happen is you'll get the options over here that do you want the tooltip to be visible for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, or you want it to be visible always. So if you will select, let's say, always show tooltip, that's when your tooltip will never go. So you see this example over here. This is one of those options which says always show tooltip. So as soon as I load this option of Salesforce, it started showing me this tooltip, which is test tooltip, which is always mentioned, and it is showing just next to the events. So this is the option of what it will look like when you select the option of on page load. So let me just do this for you, always show tooltip, and let me just go ahead and save this for you, and I'll publish this one, and I will show you that how it's gonna appear now. So in order to see the tooltip, you need to ensure that either if you want to see from the preview from the creator, or you have to go ahead from here and switch it to the player mode. That's when the tooltip will be visible to you. So for now, let me just go ahead and kind of publish this one. So I published both the tooltips for now. Okie doke. And now if you want to preview from the creator, you can click over here. And maybe I have to reload the page. Okay, let's see this from the player perspective. So if you've seen, these are the two tooltips which are available for you, for the end users. And from the player perspective, this is one of the tooltip, which is for the events. And this tooltip will always be visible. This is the fresh tooltip, which I created. And this will be for supports and services. And this is always going to be visible to our end users. So this is in terms of how the tooltip enhancement has been done. So to recap in terms of the tooltip, what we have done, we have made it available for always. If you wish, you can make it customizable, like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, so maybe always. We can also we have also increased the capacity of it. That means you can always go ahead and select it more than 250 characters now. So this is in terms of what now tooltips will appear. Now we have also done some modification and some enhancements in terms of the push notification, which Atul will definitely take us through. So Atul, can you hear me? Atul, am I audible to you?
Yes, Praveen, you're audible to me. Can you hear me?
Okay, perfect. So, there are new enhancements which we have done in terms of the push notifications and the major UI changes, which I would like you to take us through so that we can understand, what are the major changes that we have done. So let me make you the presenter now, and ball is in your court, Atul. Thank you.
Thank you, Praveen. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, it is visible to me. Thank you.
So the push notification design is something we have completely changed. So if I'll refresh this particular page, and I believe I have shown it to everyone what exactly the new push notification looks like. but I'll just reshow the same thing to everyone. So here we have the guide wherein for checking out or like for cross-checking the push notification, what exactly we'll have to do is we'll have to switch the particular creator extension into the player one. So I'll just go ahead and go to the player mode from here. And now if I'll refresh this particular page, I will see the push notification with the new design. So this is the new design that I have already discussed about, which is more of a bell icon, and for all the things from here you can just play the guide in a guide me mode as well, and you can go ahead and snooze it, or maybe you can just resume it later on from the player extension itself. Apart from this, we have a specific feature that I would really like to showcase, and which is show me mode. So if I'll just go ahead and I'll just play this guy into the show me mode. So this is the new design of a show me mode itself. So I mean, what exactly do you think about this particular show me mode? I believe this is something that the great achievement that the team has.
No, definitely. It looks quite changed to me now. I see that like you have the option of slideshow, video, and GIF, I guess, at the bottom. So yeah, so you can switch from between these two different things from there. I think the Show Me UI and the UX, if I would say, is looking much more like better way. Like from the earlier, I think it's looking really nice to me. I also see that currently we are on the slideshow, and then the slides are also appearing over there. And then you have two options. You have arrows in the middle of the screen of the show me, and then you have arrows at the bottom, and then you have the mute thing also over there. So you can also go ahead and do certain things from there. So it's really good. Looks good. Can you also toggle to the video thing, and let's see how the video appears?
Sure, Praveen. I'll just go ahead and click on video.
Okay. Let's just wait for the video to appear.
How to search MyGuide automatically. Hello
Can
there.
can we also make it full screen?
Yes, we can do the full screen mode. So
Okay,
what
that's
exactly
wonderful.
the user has to do is just click on this specific option, and the
Okay.
show me mode will be on a full screen mode itself.
Okay. No, that's wonderful. That's really looks nice. The new Show Me thing is really looking nice to us. Thanks, Atul. Thanks for showcasing that.
And the other feature that we have in the system is something, Praveen, I believe you have already shown the beacon functionality, wherein the position of beacon is something visible now. What I'll do is I'll just go back to the creator mode, and I'll just showcase everyone what exactly the beacon functionality is all about, and where exactly you can just go ahead and change the position of it.
Sure.
I'll just unpublish this guide for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So the edit mode. So earlier within the beacon creation board, what exactly the option that we had for selecting the position is, we only had four options, which is like a four direction you may can consider and from there only the end user has to select the specific portion where where the beacon should be popping up. So the major changes that we have done within the beacon functionality is something for the positioning of the question mark, or maybe the image that you would be uploading as a beacon. So this is something new design that we have changed within the beacon functionality itself. And from here, the end user can choose the location of it, and the beacon will start popping up according to the chosen location. So,
I think this is really helpful. Yeah, because earlier I remember earlier phases wherein we need to create the beacon, and then we had the limitation of where exactly we can put it. Now this is something really good wherein we now have the choice of where exactly we want to put it, just like the steps or the inline steps that we create. So this one is good. Yeah.
and not only that, we have another option, which is something like resume guide. So in
Mm-hmm.
our situation as well, we have changed the particular UI for it. So I'll just go ahead and showcase the same thing to you.
Sure. Let's just create one step, or if you have already created a step, let's just see that how resume guide works. Okay, you have a guide. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll again go back to the favorite website of mine, which is Amazon.in, and I'll just go ahead and play this particular guide here, which is in guide me mode. Now, if I
Mm-hmm.
just go and click anywhere else on the page itself, so this is what exactly is going to happen. So So now you can see the particular, oh, I clicked click play, I guess. So let me just go ahead and play the guide once more time.
Sure.
So here, if I'll just go ahead and click anywhere else on the page, so I believe you can see the particular design for the resuming guide option itself. This is the
Yes, we
new
can see that.
design that we have added over the My Guide system, and from here itself, I can just go ahead and resume the guide. So this is how the new design of the UI has been changed in the My Guide system for a show me mode and for resume option.
Okay, that is kind of wonderful. I guess there's the new UI for the resume, right?
Yes, I mean that's what I just shown.
Okay, that is wonderful. So let's talk about our next segment tool. I guess we talked about in the beginning how the segmentation used to work. So earlier we had only had the option in terms of the segmentation for like we had three limitation wherein the role, country, and the city. These were the only three options which were there. And earlier, the segmentation was only there for the guides and it was not available for the tooltips. Now, what we have done with this new release, the upcoming release, you will have the options to have the segmentation not only for the guides but also for the tooltips, which is again was in demand from most of my customers that how it's gonna work and can we have the tooltip for the tool can we have the segmentation for the tooltips because not everybody they want to show the tooltip is they have applied they want to show this tooltip to a particular category. Maybe it could be managers or executives or other functionalities in their organization. So now the good news is this feature, which is the segmentation, is not only available for the guides, it is also available for the tooltips. So that's a big thing. Another big thing in terms of the segmentation is that you do not really have to stick to only these three characters, which is role, country, and city. Now we have something called a dynamic segmentation. What does that mean is that you tell us that how many attributes that you want to give us. Like for example, you can give age group, you can give apartment number, you can give the color, you can give me anything for as long as you can give me like more than you can give me somewhere around 25, 30, 50 characteristics or 50 attributes, and my guide is substantial enough to use all those to filter in and to show the guides basis those. This is what we call dynamic segmentation. This was the ask for most of our customers for quite a time now, and that's what we have succeeded in doing it in this particular feature, that now we can go ahead and do the segmentation basis anything. Atul, I'm not really sure, do you have any segmentation which is there? Can you show us?
Yeah, definitely, Praveen. So let me just go ahead and edit this particular guide.
Okay.
And here at the end, I have the segmentation option. And here, as you can see right now, I have activated a couple of options like a time zone, street number, apartment, as well as the age group. So these are the segmentation option that I have added in the system. And apart from this, like you mentioned, we can have almost like a 25 attributes for the segmentation itself.
Wonderful. So now, not only basis the country, city, and roles, our customers now have the options to use these attributes and to filter in the segments, the segmentation of guides and tooltips as much as they want. You can select a time zone, street number, apartment, age group, date of birth. It could be anything which is coming from your database, and that is something which you can use to create the segmentation for the guides. So this one is for the guides thing. Okay, that is wonderful. Atul, there is another feature for MyGuide Player that we have launched, I guess, and that is in terms of the language. Do you have any of the language feature which is there, and we can show how language will work for the players?
Yes, definitely, Praveen. So that is something what exactly the particular functionality is all about. Let me just go ahead and showcase my screen one more time. So this particular functionality is something where if you have a particular website in a different language, so what exactly my guide will do is it will just start showing up the guide in a different language itself. So let me just go ahead and start showing the same thing to you.
That's wonderful. So what we are saying is here that what is your browser language is basis your browser language, the guide which is there, that's gonna translate it automatically. Is that what we are saying at all? Is that correct statement?
Right, Praveen, that's the correct understanding. I'm just gonna start sharing my screen very quickly.
Okay, wonderful.
Give me a moment. So what exactly I'll do is I'll just go ahead and create a specific guide, which is going to be on a maybe on a Facebook.com. And I'll just
Mhm.
showcase how it's going to look like over the with the language functionality feature.
Okay.
So I'll just add a single step within this particular guide where I'll just showcase the particular language option.
Sure. So I just wanted to highlight that thing actually with just the thing that popped up. I would just wanted to show our users like what will happen if you're creating a guide on something which is other than the added domain. Then it will give you a pop-up to tell you if you wish to add this domain to the application. So this is how it will work.
So here we have this particular guide I created on this Facebook.com. And if I'll just go ahead and if I'll just publish this guide and I'll go back to the player mode, I'll be able to see this guide into the different language, which is in French one. So here you can see right now, I'm on Facebook.com and currently this one is in French language. So if I'll
Okay.
just come here and refresh this page for a moment. Okay. So here we have this particular guide and let me just go back and example. And here the guide is in language, the French language.
Wonderful. So what we have seen, here is that we have not gone ahead and made the changes in terms of the languages inside the player. What we have done is we have just changed the language of the browser, and basis what is the browser language, MyGuide artificial intelligence is automatically taking it to the next level now, and it is now converting the guides basis the browser language. I know most of my customers had great demand towards this feature that the guide should automatically get translated basis the browser language. So kudos to our team. This feature has now been brought into everybody. You go ahead and play the guide in whatever language or your browser, whatever language that you will choose. According to that, your My Guide will gonna get convert. So yeah, this is one of the great features that we have come up with. Thanks. I guess most of it in terms of the MyGuide features and the releases that we have covered up. You think at all anything else which I'm missing on? Maybe I'm not really sure. If you can please help me.
No problem. We have covered every topic that we have in the system.
Wonderful. So, if we have received, I'm not really sure about the chats, but we will definitely see the chats. If you have not received the questions, if you have shared any questions, you can ask the questions now on the chat, or if you do not have any questions now, or you want to try and test this release, once we'll share it with you, we will share the updated release version with you. We'll update you that when exactly it's going to be available for you to go ahead and use it. And if you have questions, you can definitely email us on support@cast.com, and all your inquiries will be addressed from there in terms of any queries that you have. Nonetheless, you always have you're always welcome in terms of sharing your feedbacks towards how do you look like, what are the changes that you want to do, or how do you like it. You will definitely be important. Why? Because all this that you've seen has been in picture. Why? Because we have received the feedback from the customers. So that is one thing. Another thing would be your respective CSMs will also share with you the release notes of this entire webinar. The recording will be there, and apart from that, there will be a release notes which we will share to each and every customer, so that they can also go ahead with the entire thing which has gone, what has been removed, what has been implemented, what are the changes. So in connection with this webinar, you will also receive the recording, and you will also receive the release notes for the new features. Any other questions that you have, you definitely can ask us over the chat, or in case if you wish, if you wish, maybe if you're not sure that what you want to ask now, or maybe you want to use it and then you want to ask, then definitely you can go ahead and send us that question asked later on, and we'll definitely be more than happy to address that. I guess thank you everyone to give your important time. I know that everybody is overwhelmed, so I appreciate that everybody has given their time to us during this specific time. We just hope that everybody remains safe MyGuide is a brilliant tool for everybody who's working from home, because all of your employees who are working from home, now MyGuide is the right time for you to use a MyGuide, because it's gonna train your people without a trainer. That's what MyGuide is all about. So please go ahead and use MyGuide to the fullest during this situation. We pray that everybody should be safe, and all of our customers should be more into the safe zone, and everyone should be happy. And we will definitely come out with this. Atul and all the panelists who are here, I really want to thank them towards the this session. They really helped up. I really help. I really like your help, Atul. Like the way you have helped me and kind of bringing up the things that we have. What would you say, Atul? In terms of how do you feel? What would your sir last words in terms of how do you feel about it was like?
So this is really amazing session, Praveen. We have come so far in terms of MyGuide product, and we have done so much amazing work, which is something coming from the customer end, the feedback and the suggestion that we have been working on very hard. And I also hope for every customer they are in safe zone in this particular crisis.
Okay, wonderful. So thank you once again, everyone. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for your time. And we will share the recordings and the release notes later on as soon as we'll have them ready. Thank you for your time, everyone.